Okay, class, so today we are going to learn about the ancient culture of Roman literature. Now, we're all going to take turns reading, so Jaden, why don't you start us off? I think everyone can agree that when it comes to school, it's boring. But do you know what's worse than going to school? Going to school while sick. Let me explain. When I was but a young little lass, I woke up one morning with a feeling I can only describe as pure suffering. I think we all know what I'm talking about when I say that. You know, that feeling that makes you think, oh crap. But being the type of person who is persistent and overall kind of stupid, I went to school anyway. To be honest, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I faked being sick one day in kindergarten or in elementary school and I got called out by it from my mom. And trust me, there was nothing more terrible than being scolded by your mother on a Tuesday afternoon. I should know, because I was. So now I just kind of have this piece of code engraved into my mind saying I should still go to school despite me being sick. And trust me, it is in fact a jerk thing to do because you could still potentially get other people sick. Hey, what the heck? But again, believe me when I tell you that I'm stupid and persistent when it comes to school. Mainly because I don't want to have to wake up the next day and have to do 2 times the amount of homework that I had to do yesterday. Not to mention having to talk to the teachers and trying to figure out what they did yesterday. It's just a hassle in itself. Like I'm still trying to figure out how to parallel park and yet I still don't even know how to do that. Ow. But anyway, I don't know why I went to school in the first place. Maybe it's because I didn't want to waste my mom's time, or maybe it was because I didn't want a certain thing to erupt from my stomach. Either or, the story doesn't really end well in the most part. I mean, it kind of does, but let me just explain. The time was blah 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 in the noon, and I was just sitting in math class, shivering faster than the Flash if he drank 10 cups of coffee in the morning, and clearly I wasn't paying attention, not because my attention span at the time was as short as this video, but also because the room felt like a dang freezer given how sick I was. But all of a sudden, something worse started to brew. Oh no. My stomach was making a movement, and not a bowel movement way. Oh no. I'm talking the worst way. I did ask to go to the bathroom, just so I can attempt to get rid of this icky stuff out of me the way I wanted it to. That sounds horrible now that I'm reading that off the script. But it wasn't working. At some point, I was just getting so desperate to a point of where I just started to pray to God and just ask him to help me not throw up. Can you please help me out here? Yeah, sure, but I can't promise anything. I actually ended up going to the bathroom around 5 times in a row because I kept feeling more and more sick to a point of throwing up. You know, my mouth got more and more watery, I got more and more nauseous, my stomach was screaming in pain, until eventually, my time was up. At that point, everything in my body reacted accordingly to this dire situation. All signals went off in my head, warning me of what was about to come. And this wasn't like a, oh man, I don't feel so good. It was more like a, beeline for the nearest bucket now! And so that's what I did. By the way, in all my years of going to school, I did learn something interesting. And that is, if you just beeline out of the classroom straight to the bathroom, the teachers won't care. I mean, clearly in most schools, it's a lot more different, but given the normal stance, it lets the teachers know that this is in fact an emergency. I mean, if you were in the situation I was in, you wouldn't ask the teacher if you could go to the bathroom. If you feel like you're going to explode like a nuclear bomb, you have the right to go to the bathroom immediately. And so that's what I did. I ran as fast as I could to the nearest restroom looking for a stall to use, but unfortunately, they were all being used. I mean, all of them. I went into that bathroom over 5 times, and I was the only one in there up until now. Sometimes a part of me thinks that this whole thing was planned by a bunch of jerks. But I didn't care. I looked around for anything to help save me, and there it was. A trash bin. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. I'm pretty sure you can guess what happened next. Now clearly, I wasn't the only one in the bathroom at that time, so it was a bit embarrassing, but I didn't care. Some buddies of mine did help drag me to the nurse's office to where I was then taken home and slept for a whole day. So I guess the lesson here is, if you're sick, stay home, even though it isn't 2020 anymore. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. By the time that I'm recording this, I am actually a bit sick. I had a horrible sore throat yesterday, not a joke. In fact, a lot of people that I know, all my friends and family, are actually getting sick. I don't know if this is the return of COVID or the comeback of COVID, But yeah, this is a little bit scary. It's not like, super scary. It's just a bit concerning. But yeah, if you are having like symptoms of like, getting sick, having a sore throat and whatnot, just follow the basic procedures. The ones in 2020. Stay 6 feet away from people. Always wash your hands. Isolate yourself. And also, if you are in fact sick, like really sick, please stay home. I did, in fact, go to school when I was sick, and I kind of do regret it because I did get some of my friends sick, and I do, in fact, feel bad about it. So please don't be me, and please stay home if you are sick. Okay, that's for the better. That's what's for best. I cannot speak. That's what's for best. That's what is best for everybody. So please stay home if you are sick. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay healthy.